I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Bellbrook City Council, Monday, July 22nd, 2019. If you could please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Pam, if you could call the roll, please.
Yes, Mr. Edwards?
Here.
Mr. Greenwood?
Here.
Mr. McGill?
Here.
Mrs. Seeger Lawson? Here. Mayor Schweller?
Here. We have a motion to excuse Councilwoman Meadowstutter, please.
I move that we excuse Eileen Meadowstutter.
In a second.
Second.
A motion is made by Mrs. Seeger Lawson to excuse Mrs. Middlestutter from tonight's meeting. This was seconded by Mr. McGill. Mrs. Seeger Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. McGill?
Yes.
Mr. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Greenwood?
Yes.
Mayor Schweller?
Yes. Next item is the formal approval of the minutes of July 8th, 2019. Does anyone on the council have any changes or corrections?
None, Mayor.
Nope.
Seeing none, the minutes are approved as submitted. Tonight, we have the distinct opportunity to swear in two new police officers. And I'd first like to start with Ryan Johnston. We have to stand over here.
No.
If you could raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ryan Johnston,
I, Ryan Johnston,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and I will,
and I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
uphold and enforce
uphold and enforce
the provisions of the Charter and the ordinances
the provision of the Charter and the ordinances
of the City of Bellbrook,
of the City of Bellbrook,
will faithfully discharge
will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
The
for which
duties.
I'm about to enter.
the duties of the office for which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just sign off on that, please.
Yeah, we'll sign this one too. Correct. Sign it there. Yeah. Very good. Okay. Welcome again. Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Just have a seat just for a moment. We'll get right back to you.
Chief, I'll let you make some comments about both of them after we're done. If you
Yes,
want
sir.
to talk where you're coming from. Next is Gregory Williams. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. Gregory. I, Gregory Williams,
I, Gregory Williams,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and I will,
and I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
uphold and enforce
uphold and enforce
the provisions of the Charter and ordinances
the provisions of the Charter and ordinances
of the City of Bellbrook,
of the City of Bellbrook,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
for which I'm about to enter.
for which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now it's been much your time.
Greg, just need you to sign right there for me.
Kids, that's it for everything, yeah. right on.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, congratulations again. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Chief, the floor is yours if you'd like to talk about your two new officers.
Okay,
We're glad
thank
to have
you.
them.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to take just a moment to thank everybody on council for allowing us to have this moment. City Manager for putting this on the docket. It's an important moment for these two young officers as they start. We did a pretty thorough investigation, background investigation of them. And we feel like we have two really good officers that are going to impact the city for years to come. So we're really, really excited and happy to have them here. So we're going to have their wives come up, but I just want to make sure that people at home watching know that Ryan Johnson's wife, Christina, is here to support him. His sister-in-law, Aletha Friesen, is also here, so thank you. And Greg Williams' wife, April, is here too. So when we have Greg and April, if you guys will come up here first, please. And you guys will just stand like way out front. What we have, this badge is it's representative of the pledge that we all take to the citizens that we serve. So this means that we do everything, honestly, and we don't take shortcuts. We don't do anything. But this is a recognizable symbol that of what we do and how we go about it. So that being said, you have the task of pinning your husband his Bellbrook badge on him.
Remember you want it.
The chief, their first day is?
They started their orientation last week, and they were out and with FTOs. Ryan started Sunday, and Greg started this morning.
Okay, super.
They're already out in the community. Okay, well, thank you. Okay, Ryan, would you come up with your wife, please? Same. Now, Christina, your job is to this on him. Try not to hurt it too badly for us. Okay, great.
All right.
Thank you very much. I would just ask you guys to stick around. There'll be an opportunity for us to take pictures with the city crest when we're done. So again, council, mayor, city manager, thank you for allowing us this moment, and we look forward to serving the community proudly as a group.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
It's interesting, when I took the oath of office, Mayor, or actually Judge Mike Murray administered it to me. He said one of the most favorite things he did was to give the oath of office to basically a lot of police officers, primarily in Xenia, as well as doing a lot of weddings. I've not done weddings yet, but I enjoy issuing the oath of office to our new policemen. So congratulations, gentlemen. Next on the agenda is the public hearing of ordinances. We have none. We also have no introductions of ordinances, but we do have a resolution as we move down the alphabet. Resolution 2019-V, a resolution in support of the Greene County Master Trail planning efforts. Mr. Edwards.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 2019-V, a resolution in support of the Greene County Master Trail Planning Effort. Whereas Greene County is home to over 68 miles of paved multi-use trails, 36 miles of river trails, and a wide variety of hiking, mountain bike, and equestrian trails, as well as is part of the nation's largest paved trail network, and whereas more than 1 million individuals, both local residents and visitors, annually utilize Greene County's growing paved trails network, and Greene County's municipalities have extraordinary opportunities with the Ohio to Erie Trail connecting Cincinnati to Cleveland, and the Great American Rail Trail Initiative, a cross-country trail that connects Washington, D.C. to Washington State, traversing our region. And whereas there is a desire to develop a unified vision for all trail development among partnering local governments, Greene County Parks, and the Trails Regional Planning and Coordinating Commission of Greene County, Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission, and other stakeholders. And whereas the City of Bellbrook recognizes the benefits of trails and trail planning, which include creative, healthy, thriving communities, revitalizing neighborhoods and increasing property values, promoting economic development and growth, providing safe recreational and transportation opportunities for all ages and abilities, helping to retain and attract residents and businesses, closing the gap in the trails network, increasing individual choice of travel mode and facilitating active transportation, reducing roadway congestion and improving air quality, and enabling extension of valuable infrastructure into rural areas such as water, sewer, broadband, fiber, and other utilities. And whereas trails support the health, safety, and well-being of the general public within and surrounding our community. Now therefore, the City of Bellbrook hereby resolves, Section 1, that the City of Bellbrook does hereby proclaim its full support of the efforts of Greene County Parks and Trails Regional Planning and Coordinating Commission of Greene County, develop a Greene County Master Trails Plan, and will participate in the planning process and will provide assistance within the capacity of our resources. This Section 2, this resolution shall take effect and be enforced forthwith.
So this is part of a collaborative effort with all Greene County municipalities. There was a large meeting about 2 weeks ago where members representing every single municipality, townships, villages, cities, all across Greene County got together, met with Greene County Regional Planning and Greene County Parks and Trails folks and MVRPC folks to talk about the possibility of a countywide trail planning effort. So this is just lending Bellbrook's support to that effort. They will be developing a process for a master plan, which then they will then go to everybody to ask for likely some financial support, and part of that. This resolution is separate from that. This is just saying that we support the effort no matter what, and then if the time comes and it feels right and we're able to support it with some finances, then we'll be asked to do that, and that'll be brought before council at that time too. So this is just support of the effort in general.
Okay, thanks. Any discussion amongst council? Hearing none, can we have a motion for Resolution 2019-V?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2019-V.
In a second, please.
Go ahead.
Forrest?
Yeah.
A motion was made by Mr. Edwards to adopt Resolution 2019-V, a resolution in support of the Greene County Master Trail Planning effort. This was seconded by Mr. Greenwood. Mr. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Greenwood?
Yes.
Mr. McGill?
Yes.
Mrs. Seeger Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Schwaller?
Yes. Next on the agenda is the city manager report.
Okay, so not a lot of items. We are wrapping up, well, we did wrap up our downtown revitalization meetings. I do have a set of printed recommendations that were given to me by our consultant, and there are a few things that I just need him to tweak. There were a couple typos, and since that's going to be a permanent document, I want to make sure that that's solid. So I hope to get that out to council this week once those little tweaks are met, or corrected, I should say. And then we're going to have some follow-up conversation about just kind of thoughts and feedback for him. And he's also agreed to help us as we move forward and to stay in contact with us. I know that there's a community effort that's building. There's going to be a meeting on June 30th for community members
July
that are,
30th.
I'm sorry, July 30th, yes. July 30th for community members that are interested in becoming part of the committee or board or nonprofit, whatever that's going to look like that's formed. That's purely a community effort. That's going to be completely outside of the city, and so there is a citizen that stepped forward and is starting to lead that charge, and that meeting is going to be at 6:15 at 2600 Bellmead, I believe. Bonnydale. That's it, Bonnydale. Thank you, Melissa. So it was the old Allstate office right there at the corner of 725 near our fire station. So it's going to be there. So he did ask for RSVPs to go out. So we'll post all of that information on our website. So it's exciting, and there's going to be a lot of work to be done, but it's all very good work, and the community has been very receptive to all of this, so I'm excited to watch it all go forward and unfold. Farmers Market is expanding, so it's going from just the second Saturday to the second and fourth Saturday every month. So the next Farmers Market will be held this Saturday from 9 to 1 in our parking lot. And just a reminder that I will be on vacation the week of August 12th. We thought that maybe that might be able to be canceled, but with all of the council appointment situation having to be shifted with interviews and such, it looks like that meeting has to stay in order to be able to meet the deadline of that time period that we had. So it has to be done by August 14th, so that appointment will have to be made on August 12th. So you guys will be flying solo.
We talked about that briefly during the interviews as we concluded tonight, and we're okay with that. We'll try to limit the agenda, and maybe if Jeff Green would come, if there's anything on city staff or anything we need to talk about, but if we
Okay.
have just limited agenda, we should be able to get along without you.
And the last thing is I talked to our engineer earlier today, and the Little Sugar Creek report will be in hand by the end of the month. I will say that it's going to take a lot of discussion because it's shaping up to be a costly project. I got some preliminary figures, and it's going to take a lot of consideration to figure out what we want to do to move forward, but that report will be in hand by the end of the month, and I'll make sure to share that. So there will be further discussions on that one.
Melissa, is Little Sugar Creek stable for right now? I've not walked by it or driven by it for a while, but
Yeah, the service crew, public works crew, they walk it on a weekly basis, and we've had an incredible amount of rain. So, and it seems to have held. We haven't had any additional slips
good.
with all the rain that we've had. So, it's actually really good because we got a lot of rain this spring.
Absolutely. Any questions from council for the city manager?
I got one. The school is cutting transportation for the children, busing, and I was questioned by some of the people in my neighborhood. Their kids probably have to walk up the hill. As the sidewalks and stuff, are they going to be a priority to be cleared, do you know, because of that? Or have you talked with the school? Or
For snow removal parts,
snow removal, safety, lots of kids, maybe a lot of kids on the sidewalks and roads walking. Used to be a lot of that when my kids were younger because they liked to walk, but now that the transportation is not available, just like to make sure that we take a look at that. So
I do know that Chief Doherty has been in contact with the schools, and I know that Sugar Creek Township's police chief has been in contact. They've all kind of worked out a game plan for that first week of school to try to figure out where the needs might be in terms of safety and making
Okay.
sure that the kids are able to get to school okay. So I know that they're going to kind of evaluate it the first week, see how many kids there are going to be walking, what areas might need to be addressed, if any, to make sure that they're able to get to school safely, and then they'll be able to adjust as needed. So they have already been speaking with the schools and making sure that they're collaborating on that. So,
okay.
and that's, collaborative effort with Sugar Creek and with us and the schools. So,
And one of the places they were concerned with was we're crossing where the water tower over heading to the intermediate school. That's kind of high-speed traffic plus, so,
Yeah,
thanks.
for sure. Other questions, comments?
Nothing tonight.
Good report, thank you. Let's move on to the committee reports. Service?
No service report tonight.
Okay, thank you. Safety?
Couple things people would really enjoy if they come to it. National Night Out is observed on the first Tuesday in August. This is a police awareness raising event across the country. Ours will be in front of Dots, be cooking up some hamburgers and hot dogs, and be a good thing to stop by and talk to your police officers and tell them if they're doing good or bad. But it's 6 August from 6 to 8. And then That's all I got. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Finance and audit, since I'm still technically in charge of that group, I will talk about the second quarter financials, which we're now 6 months into the year. Revenue is nearly flat with what our plan is, which is kind of good to know. And the expenses are at 48% versus what they should be at 50%, so we like the fact that the expenses are down. Our capital plan continues to track very close to our budget, and a couple of the capital projects that have been closed out already or have already been submitted under budget amount, which is kind of good news. So right now, the finances are in good stead. The audit report, is that posted to our website? I was gonna check, I forgot to check and
I
see.
checked last week and it wasn't up yet, so I haven't checked today.
Okay. We'll look and see, but that should be out there. But right now, the finances are pretty much in line with where we think they should be. As part of the audit a couple years ago, we were asked to go through and basically approve and accept the second quarter numbers or each quarterly number. So at that point, if anybody has any questions on council on the second quarter financials? I'd ask for a motion that we accept the second quarter financials as submitted.
I'll make the motion that we accept the second quarter financials as.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you.
A motion was made by Mr. McGill to accept the second quarter financials. This was seconded by Mr. Edwards. Mr. McGill?
Yes.
Mr. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. Greenwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Seeger Lawson?
Yes.
Mayor Schwaller?
Yes. Next on the agenda is the community affairs report.
No report.
Since Elaine's not here and Daryl says no report.
No report. She did not give us any.
No report it is. Any old business? I don't think so. Any new business? At this point, we open up to open discussion. Anyone on council have anything they'd like to say tonight?
Just like to welcome our 2 new police officers. Enjoy having you on the force, and thank you for your service.
I'd like to echo Mr. Edwards welcoming Ryan Johnson and Gregory Williams. Be looking forward to working with you. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Forrest.
I'll echo similar comments. I would say one thing too to you new officers though. When the chief talked about the badge being a symbol of integrity and responsibility, those two are very, very important items and big shoes that you have to fill when you take that responsibility on. And so I commend you for doing that, and thank you for your service in other areas of the police service. And I wish you well in your endeavors as you go forward here in the community.
Just ditto. Welcome to Bellbrook. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, again, welcome to Ryan and Gregory, and may you have a long tenure with the city. And good luck in the job. We're glad to have you. Thanks.
We do need to add an executive session.
At this point in time, we're going to go into executive session. There will be no new business coming out of the executive session. So at this point in time, the viewing audience, we will discontinue the feed momentarily. We have a motion to go into executive session?
It's for the discussion of personnel matters.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
A motion was made to enter into an executive session by Mr. Greenwood. This was seconded by Mrs. Seeger Lawson. Mr. Greenwood?
Yes.
Mrs. Seeger Lawson?
Yes.
Mr. Edwards?
Yes.
Mr. McGill?
Yes.
Mayor Schwaller?
Yes. At this time, we'll adjourn the meeting to go into executive session. Thank you for attending tonight.